Hi guys, welcome to Classic TV Facts and Trivia. Thank you so much for being here. Today's video is on Leave It to Beaver, a classic, plain and simple. There was a main cast member who blamed the show for a tragedy that happened in a family, in their family, as a matter of fact. Take a look. Viewers who grew up in the 50s adored the classic television show Leave It to Beaver. The show ran until the early 60s and featured the character of Theodore the Beaver Cleaver, getting into plenty of shenanigans in his neighborhood. And while fans adored Beaver, who was played by Jerry Mathers, they also had a fondness for the rest of the Cleavers. Hugh Beaumont played the iconic Mr. Ward Cleaver, but something occurred when Beaumont was filming the show that had him allegedly blaming the series for a tragic death in his family. Here's what happened. Leave It to Beaver is a full of memorable characters, and no one could have played Mr. Cleaver like Beaumont. According to Fox News, Beaumont's work on the show was one of his crowning achievements. He didn't always have the goal of making it big in Hollywood. He initially studied theology in school before pursuing acting. When he finally became successful, his daughter Kristen Beaumont noted he never got too in his head about fame. He had a lot of input into his character, she explained to Closer Weekly, according to Fox. When we got in trouble, we usually had a talk with Dad, just like on the show. He never yelled or got upset. She added that her father took the show very seriously so that he could use all the funds to support his family. Now, while Beaumont was committed to the role of the show, it seems he wasn't always a fan of working on the set. Mental Floss notes that Beaumont had a deep sadness from the show. He spent a lot of time away from his family in Minnesota to commence with the filming in L.A., and one particular incident haunted him. Publication notes filming for Leave It to Beaver happened quickly once the pilot episode was sold, and Beaumont had to fly out to California on a tight schedule. He left his son Hunter to drive Beaumont's wife and her mom west, but Hunter lost control of the car. Beaumont's wife's mother was killed in the car accident. The Life and Times of Hollywood notes Beaumont harbored some resentment toward the show in regards to the accident because filming prevented him from being the one to drive the car in the first place. While Beaumont had reservations about the show, he still did a lot to make it stand as one of the most iconic shows on television, and he ultimately died at 72 years old. According to the New York Times, Beaumont died of a heart attack in 1982, nearly 20 years after the show's end. Leave It to Beaver co-star Jerry Mathers wrote incredibly kind and thoughtful words about Beaumont years after his death, too. He wrote, "When they recast the role for the series, Hugh was one of the several people brought in for an audition. I was very glad that he was picked for the role, and we had a wonderful friendship for his entire life until he passed away in 1982 from a heart attack. You and my dad had become friends, and he occasionally came to the house to play cards with my father and some of his friends." I don't think when they say he held a resentment toward the show, he meant it specifically per se. I just think he was hurt. That's what it appeared to me, and it's understandable, especially when you're just starting the show and this happens. And then you got to imagine what the son lived with, taking out his own grandmother that way. That's a sad way to put it. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? His own grandmother dying in that accident. Just a sad situation all the way around. Thankfully, Hugh Beaumont was into theology. He was actually a Methodist preacher, I believe. So he had that faith in God that got him through, and that's a big thing. That's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Classic rock and country music facts trivia off till Monday, as is the Beverly Hillbillies facts trivia. If you're into faith-based movies, I have a movie recommendation over at my other channel, Faith and Entertainment. Go over there and check it out. If you can't find it over there, just look at Faith and Entertainment on YouTube. If you can't find it, hit me up and I'll send you the link. I'll think of it here in a minute. And it'll take you right to it. And the movie is courageous, and it's a great movie. Great movie. So, if you're into that, check that out for me. Please subscribe while you're over there. Please subscribe here if you don't mind. You guys have a great day. God bless. Yeah, like this video. I'll be praying for you.